I haven't seen many sunflower fields this year, but here's one we've just found on the way back from the lakes. I'm seeing the 3 lakes. Rather beautiful sunflowers here. Not easy to get the shot I really want, but see how gorgeous they are. Especially with the light behind them like this. Absolutely glorious field of these sunflowers. Well, just a few kilometres out from Fresselines, we have a lovely sunflower field which we photographed earlier, and I've come now, coming towards midday, to try and paint it before the light goes too far across the field. It is a little panorama of Fresselines through the trees here. A nice little bit of woodland, and as usual I've managed to find a spot just off the road to park the car and to paint not far away. Now I've just got to unpack everything and set it all up. Well, here we are again on plein air, a beautiful sunny day here in France, in the Creuse, and a field only a few kilometres away from Fresselines, which is only a few kilometres from my own home at La Renachard. And we're going to work on plein air again. What a place to do it. I mean, Van Gogh would have been envious of this even, wouldn't he? I'm going to try the rollers again, and the brushes, but this time we're using a lot of yellow, of course. So I must put the yellow on first. So I haven't got a black canvas this time, I've got a white canvas because the yellows will deaden down too much on the black. And I'm going to just draw it out first, probably using a brush, and just a light colour. Get the composition right. I've got a nice composition behind me, that gap in between the trees, the little house there would be nice. I'll keep that tree in, and then halfway down, or just above halfway, the sunflowers down here. I hope the sunflowers are big enough for the roller. Don't want to make it too itsy bitsy. And we'll make a nice broken colour sky and work up all the mid-tones, all our light yellows and mid-tones, and then gradually go darker and darker and finish with the highlights at the end. Let's see what we can do with this then, because I haven't got that long. The sun's going to move across me quite quickly. So we have this glorious field of sunflowers and our canvas here amongst the middle of them, and it goes right round here with that lovely piece in the distance there. And then you can see where the car is there. Another painting there, I think, as well, with those cows, look. But that's not the one I want to do. The one I want to do today is this large tree here and these sunflowers in front, back to there. Let's come back to our canvas and we'll just try and zoom in a little bit to get the canvas in for you. Actually, I do have a pencil with me today, so I'm going to use it. And first of all, I'm going to just make a square with my fingers, pick up the composition I want, and may have to change it just slightly just to fit things in as I want to. I like right out and up, and I just so I'm going to come off the page or keep it on. I'm going to work that out so that I have the tree coming just off in the blue above. I think it might be nice to bring the blue right above, so I'm going to bring the tree to about here and shorten the tree down a bit. Remember, it's what happens on here that is most important. It's not whether we're copying this exactly, it's how we make this actually work as a painting, space there, so very loosely, just want to get a basic composition, and then I've got my tree coming right through there, and I don't want the blue sky in there, I just want it here. Now we're going to start on the sunflowers. I don't want them quite big, so if we come down to this sort of level here, I want sunflowers at this sort of size here on there. Hello!
Top of the morning.
And look who I've got just come to visit me.
Yes.
Hello, Peter.
Hello to both of you. You've got over your hangover. Me hangover, she said. I'm hoping to do this in about 2 hours, which isn't long.
So how soon are you going to start putting colour on?
As soon as I've got this drawing done, literally, and just sketching out where these flowers are going and leaves are going, the main points. What I've done already is made the trees smaller,
Yeah.
so that they'll fit in. I wanted the blue sky just above that tree to frame it in. I didn't want the blue sky to the left of that tree, so I've moved that across. And I wanted this space here with the little buildings.
I was
The
going to
farm.
say you're going to put the
Little farm down there would be rather nice. We've got some shapes there to go in, just loosely at the moment. So what I've done is painted yellow all over these bits because I want the bright yellow. If I'd painted the yellow over the green, it wouldn't show as brightly. So I really need to get in. Now what's happening here? Yeah, almost all. It's quite useful in a way actually, with the yellow being semi-transparent, because I can see the drawing through it. I'm almost tempted just to do the whole thing yellow and just come back with the green. Right, we'll let that dry a bit, and what I'm going to do now is just take a bit of the darker yellow, with my chrome yellow, and just run into the centre of these sunflowers a bit, just to even start to get some of these darker colours, and put the greens in a bit more carefully to bring the petals out. Let's go to the sky. One of my problems now is, of course, I haven't got a sink here, I haven't got a studio, I can't wash the brush, the roller as easily, but I do want to put the sky in using the roller, and so I'm going to have to wash it out a bit. Now, that's that ready, and I'm going to take one of my large filberts for mixing. This one will do nicely, and mix up plenty of white, make a body colour, a little bit of yellow into it, not much, can't help that anyway, but I want to start with a very pale turquoise working up to a stronger blue, so I'm going to start with literally with my turquoise and white. I'm going to put some pink over in a minute, more white into that. I've got to go a little bit into the trees, because they're showing through here in places, right up and through here. I'm going to put some of these lights back into the trees later. Isn't it fun, eh? It's just so great to use this is such a free way of painting, and this is the beauty of being out here on plein air as well. You can really enjoy what we're doing. Now, I want to put a little touch of magenta into that, a wee touch of magenta, to get a slight pink colour going. And this is the beauty of the sponge rollers now as well, is that they can almost glaze over. Look, you can get this lovely, almost like a glaze of colour by just gently rolling over the surface to bring out the warmth of this. Magenta's going. Then you want more blue, more magenta, so the white again, This time a little touch of cerulean, not the turquoise this time, but cerulean, and a smallest touch of ultramarine. A bit more magenta because I'm going warmer now. Ultramarine magenta. We'll just do a test of that with a brush just to see. Now look at that, isn't that lovely? A bit stronger. So more cerulean, ultramarine, magenta. And let's get that onto the roller. Right, so in with the ultramarine now, a lot stronger. And a lot more of the magenta to go warmer. We're coming up here. We'll come across with a bar first of all. We'll just blend that in by just flicking it over the surface. Look at that lovely feeling we get of a Mediterranean type sky. Good. Across to here, with that bar across, back to the tree. And I'm even going to add a little bit of purple now rather than magenta. Let's more purple. Now yellow is opposite in the colour circle to purple. So if I start using purple now, it's going to really make my yellows sing when I start painting those in properly. And look at this purple and blue going on in a nice mottled way to give the feeling of the sky. I'm going to go just that little bit darker at the top just to make that seem more turquoise lower down, because the warmer I make this, the cooler this will seem. I've got that blue through there, but don't mind it really. Some of these greys are coming up through the trees as well. We need some of these lighter greys amongst these trees, so while I've got it on my roller I'll use it. I do wish I had a big bowl and a jug of water to clean up, but I haven't, so I'd like to clean my roller and clean up a bit more as I can with a brush. But in the background hedge, that's what I want to get. Yeah. It's warmer greys here than I want to start off with. Sometimes we struggle just to get things started, but we're coming. I think I'm going to have to do a lot more, because I can't wash my roller. I'm going to have to do quite a bit more with the brushes than I'd expected to do. Put the worms, the clay soil, sandy soil here in afterwards. Let's just get these greens. You start to see things appearing. It's great fun, isn't it? And get my basic tones in, and I'm free to work with the brush again. Tonight we should be going to the blues bar again, and I think this time they have actually got real blues on. I enjoyed the last music very much, so after this painting we should be able to loosen up again tonight at the local blues club. See the sunlight effect we can get. There's light coming across these trees and up here. So getting our mid-tones done through to our lighter tones. So we've got some very deep purple blues, much deeper than the sky, and they're going to make the sky seem much lighter as well. Some more lights back in over this later. Let's just get some of these dark shadows. Of course these same darks are going to be happening in the actual leaves as well. You see how quickly a painting can come together. Now I've got to start working out some of these darker tones even with the leaves and use my sponge just to get a few of the darks in now, just to start to paint a few of these same darker tones here amongst the leaves. Paint loosely, we can finish tight. Paint tight, we can't finish loose. So if I start this loose, I can just go tighter and tighter and tighter, and I'm in control. That's what I want. So some basics worked out, haven't we? And I'm going to make some lighter colours, some lighter greens to come across this. We've got these lights and darks working better now. We've got these stronger tones of light against dark. The other day in one of the cheaper shops I found this rather lovely canister with a tap on. Thought great for the dog water, but actually Not bad for the artist water either. Good, right, we've cleaned up the palette. Now let's see, look at that beautiful sort of creamy pink in the background there that I want to just pick up on, that I lost earlier on. So I'm going to take a bit of my magenta again. Now, that magenta wants a little bit of yellow in it, just a touch. And that gives us that beautiful pinky cream at a distance there. Let's see if I haven't made it too light. Let's see if I use it fairly thinly. I can't bring it over the surface here. There we go. To give that haze, beautiful haze coming up into the... Just work the light back again into the trees as well. Right. I want to go back to my very light greens in a moment. But just before I do that, let's just look at some of these lovely pinks that are happening down here on the ground with the same sorts of colour, a bit more yellow. Okay, back to the very light greens, which I'm hoping I can cerulean blue and a wee touch of the green. We should have a colour that will give us sunlight. I'll go carefully now. Let's see, shall we? We should start to get some sunlight here. Yes, there we go. We'll put that on top. Just coming in, catching the light tops of these trees. And around here, into this tree as well. Too bright that there. That wants to be here. That does. So I'll put some yellow ochre in here now. So I want to warm up these trees over here a bit more. Cerulean blue, need a bit more of that going on amongst these leaves. Put the right colours in the right places and the right shapes, and the paintings just appear. I haven't got to try and draw everything in, as long as you get the right, like a jigsaw, things put together. So I've got to bring these flowers out a bit yet, but not to worry about that at all. Okay, we're almost ready to go on with the brush, I think. I need to start, I've got my basics in now, my lights, my darks. The darks need to be a bit stronger yet, but we can pick those out, but I just need to get more detail going now and pick out some... Right, I come down to this brush. It's about 1/4 inch, and I want to start off. Big brush out of the way, medium brush. Now, I need to start picking out little bits of colour here and there that I've not been able to do so far. Just get the feeling of a farmhouse there in the background. Another bit of roof shining over here. Shouldn't be as yellow as that. That's it. Coming through here. Let's see what tree finishes there we've got. And we can start to make a few more textures if we want some more leaf shapes there rather than just the sponge. Anyway, let's start to break these trees into here. Right through here. Giving us a more three-dimensional effect. We need to start looking at the flowers, working down onto them shortly. Certainly worked along here enough. Get a bit more lights into the background there. Just a bit more. And these colours are going to sink as I put them on as well. But we're getting the feeling of it a bit more now. I say Van Gogh had lovely thick paints to use. I'm being a bit lazy in that I don't want to get my oils out this year. Next year, yes. It's a bit of a mess at the moment because it's lost its purity. What I'm going to try and do now then is to really start to push some colour and see if the darker colours can be made to make the... I'm going to start looking for colour now. I've really got to find something to pull this one through. Watch for them, look for these different colours. Oh, that one bit of stronger green can make the other lighter ones work better. I need to go down the brush, I think, and start to work on some of the details of the leaves a bit more. What I'm trying to do is just find some of the shadows in them, pick out the lights against the dark so that we can really start to get the effect of these bright yellows. Believe me, at this stage I've no idea. I don't know whether it's working or not, but all I can do is keep working at it. To see more colour, and it's more yellow sun. It's almost directly above, so we're getting a really lovely effect of light on the end of these branches up here. See these dark shades of the shadows. I'm not sure how much you've missed because the battery went and I wasn't watching the camera, so I couldn't see, but struggling on, and we're getting there, but I'm still not really that happy with it. I really do need to find some much richer colours. Let's see if we can really find some of the... I'm not that happy with it. Maybe I might be when it gets back into a different light, but at the moment I'm not over chuffed. Simply because I can't lay the paint on that I want to lay on in the way that I want to. Right, I think we've just about reached where I'm going to get. It's not quite so bad now. I've just pushed some of that cool colour in, but it's not as successful as I was hoping it's going to be, for me anyway. Even so, we've got to the end of the painting that then. I'm going to give up on that one for today. It'd be interesting to come back with oils and slap them into it, I think, but I shan't be doing that, so there we go. Another one bites the dust. Scene here. I've decided when I got it back, although it's a nice soft painting, I really do want a little bit more zing in parts of the yellows on here. So I'm going to put some oils out onto a palette and just try some pure oil onto it, rather than doing that out there, of course, but you know, sometimes needs must. It's experimental. If you're not quite happy, do something about it. Let's see what happens. Well, I think we can see an immediate difference as soon as I take some of this heavier yellow and place it onto here. It's clear, it's bold, it's intense, and it's sharp edged as well, which is what I want to get these petals. So let's just put a bit of this on, see how we go with it. You can see there, I'm sure. Let's just try a little bit of, that's cadmium yellow. Let's just try a little bit of lemon yellow into it to really get the sun going on the edges. And just look at that difference. It's considerable, isn't it? Carries with me, but in fact I could easily take down just a few tubes of the yellow oil paint to put on at the very end. Because the acrylic will dry far quicker anyway, and it means that I could just have a palette, not take a full palette of oils, but just take the yellows down, just to put them on at the very end here, and build it up. Purer yellows, just nice, bright colours. The sun just catching them. So different than the acrylics can give me. And just look at that, it's pure when it goes on, it's nice slabs of colour. And back here as well, we can now try and catch the sunlight, catching these petals which we weren't getting before. Nice and bright against that background. To really give this feeling of a hot day. Sometimes it's worth taking a chance and experimenting. We have to do this to move ahead. I could have wrecked it, but if you're not happy with something, well, it's not really worth doing anyway, is it? I'll paint out. I use these big tubes. Here I've got Roundy Georgian. I can get away with the student's quality in oils and sometimes in acrylics, but as I say, the acrylics are more difficult. They're sort of in between. You can't with watercolours. You can get away with it with oils most of the time. Oils are quite good quality normally. Much better, much better. You can see how it stands out and we can make the colours. No way Van Gogh would have painted with those acrylics I've just been using. Dead. It can be used very effectively, as you've been seeing me do. Something like this now just wasn't working. Now I can really hammer these colours and make some petals, actually grow them here on the canvas. So remember, we can put oils over acrylics, but we cannot put acrylics over oils or they will be liable to peel off. Most of your prime canvases are acrylic primed anyway. Even when you paint oils on, they're not usually oil primed. Too expensive for them. I hope you can see the difference on the camera. And these colours give you a better idea for yourselves. And this is what I'd like to be able to do with acrylics, but I haven't yet found any that are this thick and opaque and vibrant. There, well, I think that was a risk worth taking. It does seem to have worked. There, I reckon that is about it. That painting. It's not, I would have liked to have done it all with the oils there to really get the feeling of it, but it's a lot better than it was, in my opinion. There we go then. Just balance the top a little bit. I'm not quite happy with the balance up here. But, right. We'll photograph that.